Assalamualaikum. Today, our group is going to present about the second case study, which is about Bersih Corporation Berhad, that is also known as Bersiko. My name is Nur Farah Afiqah and I'm going to briefly introduce about the company. Bersiko is a public listed company that involved in manufacturing the flat steel. Bersiko is an investment holding company and it engaged in three business activities that consist of steel, furniture, and property divisions. It was incorporated in September 1972 and was listed in Bursa Malaysia in May 1981. It was a profitable company because it owned the largest HRC steel plant through its subsidiary, which is Giant Steel Sdn Berhad. However, Bersiko's financial performance fluctuated in 1998 and it suffered losses starting 2009 because the last profit was reported in 2008. Giant Steel Sdn Berhad is one of the subsidiaries of Bersiko that is involved in the steel division. Giant Steel is manufacturing hot rolled coils, which is HRC, and cold rolled coils, which is CRC. The quality of Giant Steel's products were not satisfying and they sold their products at a premium price because they are heavily protected by the government. Furthermore, the influx of lower-priced steel products had badly hit Giant Steel as its performance continued to be affected by foreign steel producers' dumping activities. In 2014, Giant Steel was heavily indebted because of their high debt ratio and was technically insolvent. The production has dropped since 2015 and they have ultimately suspended their production in March 2016.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Amirah Nurul Dalilah and I will present on the first issue that arises in the Bersih Corporation Berhad, which is delisting of Bersiko. This issue arises when Bersiko was on the verge of being delisted from Bursa Malaysia because they continuously suffered loss. They also failed to submit their regularization plans to Bursa Malaysia in order to keep its status as public listed company for the past 3 years. From the case itself, we have identified that the financial performance of Bersiko are fluctuate since 1998 and mostly it stays in red. However, the last profit was recorded on 2008 and they continuously recorded loss from 2009 and onwards. Thus, they are in dilemma either to continue to be listed in Bursa Malaysia or not. However, if they decide to be delisted, they need to analyze all the effect of being delisted towards the company as a whole. As they suffered a loss since 2009, the company also has been classified as PN17 on October 2013. PN17 or Practice Note 17 is a status for a problematic company who being listed in Bursa Malaysia. In this category, the company is having a financial problems or financial distress and it also fails to fulfill the minimum requirement either from the capital or the equity that has been stated by Bursa Malaysia. After analyzing all of the possibilities and the effect with the company, we have decided that Bersiko should stay to be listed in Bursa Malaysia. It is because if the company decides to be delisted, it will bring a huge negative impact towards the company, especially during this financial crisis period. By being delisted, the new investor might first to invest in the company and the company is unable to issue new shares to the market to establish a new financial initiative. The image of the company also will be affected either from the point of view of the public or the point of view of the competitors. Thus, from the analysis, we will convince the board that Bersiko should keep its status as a public listed company. As been stated in the case that the fifth application of Bersiko to extend the submission of the regularization plans to Bursa Malaysia has been declined. So, we will urge the management to prepare and submit the regularization plans immediately in order to secure the listed status. The regularization plans is not only needed by Bursa Malaysia, but it is also can be one of the supporting document to impress and convince the new investor to invest in the company.
Hi, I'm Nurul Dalilah. I will present the next issue. The next issue that we find is adverse audit opinion. The issue is where auditors might express an adverse audit opinion on their audited financial report for the year ended 2016. This issue arises because Besico did not follow the proper accounting treatment in preparing its financial statement. They also received a few queries regarding the closure of Giant Steel and Besico. According to the audit queries, there are some issues which management response is needed. First, Besico current liabilities has exceeded its current assets, and the group also defaulted on a few borrowing obligations. Number 2, the group has recorded deferred tax asset despite the losses in recent years. Next, the auditor also have an issue regarding the wrong application in stating its property, plant and equipment value after the revaluation and its inventory closing valuation. Not only that, they also have an issue where there is no provision for onerous contract that has been made. So, what Besico can do in order to handle this issue? Based on our suggestion, an action to be taken by the Besico is answer the audit queries by disclosing and provide all information and documents required by the auditors. Besico also needs to give full cooperation and follow according to the accounting standard in preparing its financial statement. For example, Besico should state the carrying value of property, plant and equipment after impairment and evaluate its inventory at the lower of the cost or net realizable value.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zarith Fitrah and I'm going to present on the next matter, which is regarding the potential investment from the Chinese investor. So, this matter concerns on how Besico should convince their investor to inject fund in their company. This issue arises because Besico did not have enough fund to restructure their company and also its subsidiary, which is Giant Steel. This is because they had financial problems and the last profit was reported in 2008. And for Giant Steel, it has ceased its operation in March 2016 due to the excessive dumping activities by foreign steelmakers. They needed help to source funds in order to restructure their organization. So, what should Besico do in order to ensure that they will get the investment? They must prepare and submit the financial report as requested by the investor after they have rectified the issue that was pointed by the auditor that shows that they follow the proper accounting standard in their reports. They should also submit their regularization plan to convince the investor about their ability to sustain in the industry again in the future. This is to show that they are serious in making their organization great again. Thank you.
Hi, I am Nurazimah and I'm going to present on the next issue about the business regularization plan. The issue is the absence of a regularization plan will make it harder for Besico to convince the investor about its sustainability. This issue arises because Besico did not bother to prepare the regularization plan during the previous application to appeal from being delisted. Besico did not manage to come up with a regularization plan for the past 3 years because they did not seek any professional consultation. We suggest that Besico should submit the regularization plan to Bursa in order to convince the investor about the company's position so they will not hesitate to invest in the company. Besico needs to prepare a regularization plan immediately since Bursa has rejected the application to extend its deadline. It will help the investor to decide whether to invest in Besico or not. Since the research report indicates that the reduction of production capacity in China have led to an improvement in steel prices at the end of 2016 and expected to remain steady in 2017, Besico are advised to submit the regularization plan since there is a possibility to sustain in the industry. The research report also indicates that steel industry faces a huge opportunity to transform their operational model by implementing digital technology that enabling them to improve operational efficiency, customer service, inventory levels, and profit margin. But how to make a suitable digital strategy is not an easy to answer question. We do not suggest putting a huge investment and thus expecting it is a one-off effect. The digitalization is a long journey instead of a quick jump forward. Agile deployment of some market-proven tools and initiatives can help companies to test the water and solve their existing problems, and preparing the company for the future large-scale digitalization. Therefore, Besico should consider the stability of future steel prices and the digitalization in steel industry as the strong reasons why they should prepare and submit their regularization plan, since it will give the company a sustainable advantage.
My name is Faiqah Hanum, and I will present the last issue faces by Besico. Okay, the issue arises when the workers made a protest in front of the entrance of Besico. Moving on to the case data collected by us, Besico decided to shut down its subsidiary, which is Giant Steel, without given any notices towards the workers. We can refer this as unlawful dismissal of company towards their workers. Not only Besico make an unlawful dismissal, they also have not paid their workers in full since January. After analyzing both issue and case data, Besico can make a proper decision. In order to avoid from being sued by the workers, Besico must find the best solution that will benefit both parties. Thus, Besico must make a proper retrenchment arrangement by offering job placement at the other subsidiaries. However, Besico can only offer job placement to some of their workers, and for those who are not getting the job placement, they will be compensated fairly. Thank you.
Based on our findings, we can conclude that since Besico suffered from financial losses and received PN17 status from Bursa Malaysia for the past 3 years, it was to be delisted from the stock exchange unless they submit a regularization plan immediately. In addition, they also received an adverse audit opinion as they did not comply with the proper accounting standards in preparing their financial reports. To fix this problem, they need to cooperate with the auditors to rectify their reports according to the standards. We believe Besico will acquire the fund from the Chinese investor to restructure their organization after they submit their regularization plan to Bursa Malaysia and prepare the required financial statement analysis to the investor. After they are able to restructure their organization, they can compensate the Giant Steel workers that were unlawfully dismissed. And that is all from us. Thank you.